Finding purpose is an existential task. For one person cannot fully live without knowing the reason for your existence. For most of you who are here, your purpose in life is yet to be revealed. But until that very moment, the search continues while you patiently wait in expectation. Before I begin, let me tell you a secret. I never wanted to become a doctor. And that would be for two main reasons. Number one is that I was afraid of blood. Number two, I am bad at math. You tell me, but this sounds like poor credentials for medical school application. I graduated high school in this institution 14 years ago. And now, as a pediatrician by practice and profession, I am tasked to take care of children from birth to adolescent years. As I collect my observations, reflect on the things I learned from this present adolescent generation, I am captured by an overused, underdefined, yet very interesting term in the millennial word pool, adulting. You see it in social media, it is a common hashtag. Yeah, I paid my bills today, hashtag adulting. Started to find a job, hashtag adulting. Found a new job, hashtag adulting. Transferred to another job, hashtag adulting. The list goes on and on, telling us that the younger generation seems to find it extremely hard to become an adult. Because if not, why create a new urban word for the supposed to be an expected act of becoming one? So here you have it, the word adulting. It comes inevitably to everyone. Wala kang choice. Being an adult is not only necessary, but is a sequential phase in one's life. No matter how you delay it, it will come. And I tell you, it will come hard. The words, hindi pala madaling maging maganda, is sincerely true. Adulting is a phase where life presents itself in a very harsh manner. It is human nature, though, that we want to pass through the so-called adulting stage the easiest way. The shortest cut. The fastest way to the finish line. You see, I graduated at the time when the only mobile games we know is Snake 2 and Space Impact, which we usually borrow from a classmate who was a monochromatic 3310 from Nokia. A time when graduating high school students who were short of better options had two choices: BS nursing or other courses. I chose nursing like many of my batchmates did. I dreamed the American dream. I eventually defeated my fear in blood, but in nursing school by dramatically exposing myself to blood and specimens over and over and over. This was in the first place for my American dream, I said to myself. I found a consolation that it is perhaps the fastest track to a comfortable life. Sino nga ba naman yung ayaw ng dollars, diba? Then came college graduation and I found out that the United States closed its doors to Filipino nurses. That was in 2008. There were thousands of jobless nurses and I was one of them. I felt a big glow of regret in me, bargaining my what-ifs in life. That what if I just fought for the course I really wanted to, which was computer engineering at that time. Maybe I was doing better. But I began asking God, what if I failed by choosing the wrong course? My career was then a blur. At the same year, I then got involved in community work by serving with a Christian organization in far-flung communities in Benguet Province, Lingalan Aurora, and Mindoro Oriental. In many instances there, it came to me that this country needs more doctors. I was afraid of the possibility that maybe I am called to become one. At first, I thought it was a joke because I was just an ordinary student in college with average grades. I came from a non-medical family. I was still poor in math and still hate seeing blood. But in reality, the reason is I just know it would be a very hard road to take. It must have been a joke until little by little God's provision came smoothly, where I got a full scholarship at the PLM College of Medicine. And oh boy, it was hard. I can use another hour to enumerate how hard it was. Tears, failures, hundreds of sleepless nights, skipping meals, and missing batch reunions and family gatherings intensified the struggles I faced as I endeavored to finish my medical degree. I graduated once more. I was already 25 years old by then. Still without salary, still without earnings. It was hard. Now at 31 years old, I finished my general pediatric training in PGH. I am graduating too, only for the 7th time. Another offer of further subspecialization would take another 3 years in my life. This is my adulting story, still developing, still being written. Adulting itself, it's a fork in the road. Now as you are given the power to choose, it comes with a stronger challenge to do hard things. For in this time, we are spoiled by our technology, compelling us to prefer the easy way, the comfortable roads of mediocrity. We can choose to settle and live easy, yet we may find it empty, to hoard riches but not significance. This morning, as I was still doing my rounds in the hospital, I noted the baby with a failing heart. I realized that the 4 basic steps I learned in medical school to examine a patient is also relevant in helping us face the challenges of life ahead. These steps we do in an orderly fashion. First is inspection. To inspect is to look. To use our sight and vision to see our patient diligently, to search for abnormalities that might lead us to a proper diagnosis. In life, we need to use our eyes properly and wisely focus on the important things. In my medical journey, I've seen discouraging things in the healthcare system. Lack of resources, corruption, and even the hospital's bullying culture. Distractions will certainly come. But it is important to set a goal, a vision, and fix your eyes on the prize. To be discouraged is momentary, but to give up is not an option. Second is palpation. We use the sense of touch. To palpate a patient is to touch and to feel the body for any lump, tumor, or organ enlargement. We use the palms in our hands and fingers to carefully evaluate the patient's delicate body. As a government doctor, we are often expected to be able to help the family gather the necessary funds needed in their child's medical care. To become their own social worker is not our job, but most of the time we feel the need to. No one will be more concerned than us, doctors. There will come moments where we need to give, because it is but human instinct. It is often our time, money, or even physical effort that are often needed by others. Welcome those feelings of compassion. Be sensitive and learn to feel for others. This country needs more compassionate people than ever. One mentor once told me that compassionate doctors are inevitably good doctors. simply because our compassion drives our confidence. Third is what we call percussion. This part of our examination involves tapping our fingers or hands quickly and sharply against the parts of the patient's body to determine if an organ is solid or filled with fluid or gas. This part of physical examination requires proficiency in the skill. We strike the patient gently with our fingers and make a sound. If done properly, we can be able to detect if the patient who comes to us in respiratory distress could be because of simple pneumonia or other more serious illness. Just like in doing percussion to a patient, we in life need to make a sound. To stir change in another person, in your community, or even in this nation, sometimes we need to rise and speak up our conviction and act upon it to make a sound. Most of the time, you will go against the flow. But because silence and apathy towards crucial issues like drugs, abortion, divorce, and even extrajudicial killings will not help this nation, but further hasten the moral decay which is ongoing. In high school, I remember the character that was built by DLA. I knew my grounds, and when given the opportunity, I am able to speak up my convictions, and hopefully I did make a sound. Lastly, the fourth step is auscultation. This is the humble act of listening. We as doctors use our stethoscopes to listen to the internal sounds of our patient's body. In this step, we orient ourselves with the sounds that we hear. At the same time, we isolate the normal from the abnormal. Is it right that I am hearing this? Should I do something? This act of listening is one of the most important skills, for it has saved millions of lives already. It is through auscultation that we know whether a patient's heartbeat is slowing down or their lungs are being filled with excess water. Listening is a humble art and a very important life skill as well. In this era of social media and advanced technology, our minds and hearts are often overloaded with information that sometimes we cannot process anymore. Different worldviews and insights, both right and wrong, comes to us unfiltered. But bad influences can spoil us. Most of the time we get lost, and it is in the humble art of listening that we can protect ourselves. In many times of confusion, I learned that the life experiences of our parents and elders are very indispensable. They may not have the most numbers of FB friends or Instagram followers, but the wisdom they gain can help you in your very own crossroads. Do not hesitate to ask. It is not a sign of weakness, but a privilege we can avail. Mama, tama ba itong gagawin ko? Or Papa, sasali ba ako dito? I repeat with emphasis na hindi masamang magtanong. Likewise, may I remind you to pay attention to the most important voice that we need to hear. It is the voice of God. Pray and read your Bible. Most of my life decisions were grounded on listening to what God has already said in His words. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 7, verse 24, "Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who builds his house on the rock." He is our firm foundation. Our own experiences will be limited, but the wisdom of the people older than us, and above all, the voice of God, can spare us from unnecessary heartbreaks. So again, learn to listen and understand, magtanong at makinig. I am excited to what the K-12 program of DepEd has contributed to all of you. I can see that through this generation of graduates, our country is to expect better doctors, lawmakers, economists, politicians, artists, teachers, scientists, and productive citizens of this nation. The preparation might have been long and tedious, but it is comforting that as a nation, we are moving forward. I speak in behalf of my class 2004. I am but one of the 3 pediatricians in our batch, one of the 5 physicians, and one out of the 66 humble graduates of this school who are now banking our hope on all of you guys. Fight well and finish the race that is set before you. As a segue before I end, let me take this opportunity again to DLA and to all my teachers and advisors. If not for with your help, I would not have reached where I am now. So thank you. And to this graduating class, remember my 4 life skills. Have a vision and fix your eyes on the prize. Be sensitive and compassionate. Stand your ground, make a sound. Learn to listen and understand. My prayer is that you face adulting and life's challenges with humility and confidence. May you commit with a deliberate decision to do hard things, choose harder paths, and do simple things the right way. Seek God, find your purpose, and strive to live a meaningful life. Press on, class of 2018, children of light, libre mangarap. Mahirap to pa rin, pero posible. At kaya naman. With this, I end my speech and send all of you the blessings that is found in Jesus Christ. Sole Deo Gloria, to God be the glory. Thank you.